Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another edition of Gridiron Weekly. It's just the duo again. I thought we were going to be a trio, but Bill is otherwise occupied. And playing Bill tonight will be no one because he's not here. So it's myself and John, and we're going to talk to you about exciting stuff. We're going to talk to you about this conference called the MAC, the Mid-Atlantic Conference. We're going to say that name again just for giggles, and you know what? The Mid-Atlantic Conference, because they have a new member this year in the Mid-Atlantic Conference. So Northern Illinois has left, and they've gone to the Mountain West,
right,
to replace Northern Illinois, Sacramento State. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Sacramento State from the state of California is joining the MAC. So they're coming from the football championship series up to the football bowl series. And again, as John and I were talking off air, it never matters for the Big Two, right? The Big Two never matter. But the Big Two sports, I mean, basketball and football. The problem where it comes in is the travel for the girls' soccer team, the men's tennis team, swimming and diving, all that stuff, and whatever other minor sports you have, because that's a lot to travel midweek. The MAC has always been exciting. And I don't know about you, but I've always loved it because it's contained in those couple states right there. And it's very cool conference to watch. But alas, they've changed it and done whatever all these other conferences have done. And as we were talking off air, we figured, well, couldn't the Sacramento State join all the other states of the Pac-12? It seems like a no-brainer.
It'd have been perfect. Yeah.
Have every other state there. But alas and amas, they did not do it. I don't know why. Maybe they got paid money. It'll be remain. Everything's about money. So we'll figure out what in the world they did it and why they did it. So we're gonna jump right into it.
All right.
We're gonna remind you. I'm gonna remind myself too of the teams in the MAC. We'll go over them real quick. We've got Western Michigan, Miami of Ohio, Toledo, Central Michigan, Ohio, Buffalo, Kent State, Eastern Michigan, Akron, Ball State, UMass, and of course the 12th team is Sacramento State out of the state of California. We'll say that again, out of the state of California. So that's going to be interesting. They were contenders at FCS. They were always in the. It seems like they were always in the Final Eight with the North Dakota States, South Dakota States. So at least in the last couple of years, I remember watching them. Yep. So it's a big step up for them, and good for them coming up to the big boys and giving it a try. So the defending champ of the MAC last year, they were 10-4, 8-1 in conference, was the Western Michigan Broncos. So this appears to be as the team that's going to defend it again. They appear as if they're going to do it. So you want to start us off a little bit talking about Western Michigan?
Yeah, I mean, they got a tough, right? I mean, I think the last team that was Northern Illinois and to repeat, like 2011, I think, 2012. So it's been a while since we've had a repeat. So that's working against them. But they do have the player of the year. I think the offensive player of the year and the quarterback, Brock Lowry. So that's a good start right off the bat. Offenses, running game. They seem to be the most complete team in the conference to me, just by reading and paying attention to what I was getting ready for the show. I don't. If anyone's going to repeat, this feels like to me, this would be the year. I think they are. I don't care who I know we'll get into the other teams, but I feel like Western Michigan is just. I think they lost some guys on defense too. I realize that they did. But I just feel like that this team is the most complete of the bunch. And you got the quarterback, which we know you need.
Right.
There's a lot of quarterback issues in this conference right now. I think there's a lot of up in the air. These guys are pretty solid in this kid who was the offensive player of the year.
Yeah, and this is where PJ Fleck came from, right? At Minnesota.
Yeah.
Years ago. So I mean, they have a rich history of coaching, and at any level in football, if you're returning a coach and a quarterback, you're bound to do better than those who are not. Western Michigan is a known name. They'll come out firing. It's a good program, and they're going to test their mettle right away. Week 1, they play Michigan.
Look, it would not. I think it's going to be close.
At the big house in Ann Arbor. Michigan's got a brand new coach. Let's see if he can get his thing together. I agree with you. I think it's going to be close, and I think this is a real opportunity for Western Michigan to pull off a rare upset of a Big Ten team because of the flux with the new coach and with the legal issues that was going on with the last coach. I look at this game to be a must-watch game, Saturday, September 5th. I think it's going to be, It's gonna set the tone for each one of their seasons. It really is.
Well, yeah, because you figure it's like a preseason game. Week one's always got, it's preseason for Michigan.
But it goes back to that point. Michigan's bringing back their coach and their quarterback.
It's going to be, Western Michigan, whatever the line is, I can't wait to see what that is. I'll take Western Michigan because they may lose, but I just can't see them losing by 35.
Yeah, but I mean, they can definitely score. It's a high octane offense. They can score, and I think these early games are always danger for the big boys. When you play these non-power four conferences, it's always a toss in the air. And I just like the fact that Western Michigan has that continuity going for them right now. So that's week one.
Yeah.
You figure they'll probably lose. We say 0-1, right?
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Week 2, Monmouth. I can't see them losing to Monmouth out of New Jersey.
Right.
Can't see them losing one. Rice is in a terrible position right now.
Right.
They're out of Texas. I see 2-1. So 2-1 against, and then you play Boise State.
Ooh.
That's going to be
good.
Yeah, in the first 4 weeks of the season, if they get through 3-1 and they pick off either Michigan or Boise State, this is going to be a team to reckon with. They're going to be a team that's going to have the opportunity to represent, the highest of the collective for the large playoff. Again, because they can score and they've done a good job of keeping everybody together. And then they come back and they have, Buffalo. I think that's a win from Buffalo. I think Toledo's going to be a tougher game, right?
Right.
I mean, because Toledo's always competitive.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just the gauntlet of their schedule, right? After that, you go to Eddie George's team, Bowling Green. I think that should be a win. You got Akron, the Zips. That should be a win. Eastern, they constantly just batter Eastern, so that's a win. Mm-hmm. And then you have Miami of Ohio, which is another team that can play. Yeah, so I'm looking maybe what, 2-3 losses?
Yeah, 2 to right, because Bowling. Let's just say, like you said, Boise State and Michigan are losses.
Yeah, I mean that game at the end of the year against Miami of Ohio quite likely will be for the probably for the MAC title, I would think, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I think they make it into the MAC. Does the MAC? They still have their championship game?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they still have the tournament. Yeah, or the championship game. Yes.
Oh, that's a good thing to keep that rolling. I mean, I like what I see from this team. I do, and the most important point is that continuity. You just can't say enough about it. So we won't say any more about it.
Right.
But so I like Western Michigan. They're odds-on favorite to win. 10-4 last year, 8-1 in the conference. I see probably that. Of course, that includes their bowl game as well as their the MAC championship game. I can see them at 10-2, maybe.
I see that. Yeah. They may not lose a game in the MAC this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Maybe they'll do that. I don't know.
They could beat Boise too, couldn't they? You could see it. Bronco on Bronco.
I could see it.
The
thing is, Boise, as we went through Boise, they bring back their quarterback as well and coach.
I know. So that'll be tough. Yeah, it'll be definitely tough. It's obviously in Boise, right?
Yeah, they always have a wrinkle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Always have a wrinkle in a game, and you never know what Boise's going to do. Hard to scout against. Always very well coached. So that's going to be another. That's those 2 games. Those are much watched games. I don't know about Rice and Monmouth. Those are snorers, but the other 2, that's going to be 2 good games. Like I said, definitely they're coming out 2-2. But if somehow they're out 3-1, look out for Western Michigan.
Yeah, going
into the meat of their conference schedule because they're going to be on a high. And say they lose them, but they're close games, right?
Right.
They battle Michigan, they lose by field goal to Michigan. And it's a 1-point game against Boise State or something like that. I mean, again, they're gonna have confidence,
right? And that's as good as a kind of coming towards the end when we're looking at playoff teams. If they sweep their conference and lose 2 close games,
right?
They could very well be be in it.
Yeah, they could be the one that everybody is chasing.
Yep.
All right. So up next we have Miami of Ohio is projected to finish 2nd in this conference. So Miami of Ohio, I'll start off with Miami of Ohio.
Okay.
They're returning starters, always a good thing. Coach, and it says in the notes they're a safe bet for 7 to 9 wins. The MAC is a safe bet for 5 to 6 teams going to a bowl every year. They just are. They get these teams to at least 6 wins, 7 wins sometimes, but I like them a lot. I like what Miami of Ohio does, and they had some good games. Last year they finished 7-7, 6-3 in the in the conference. They're a contender, but I still think I'm like you. Western Michigan and then everybody else, because Western Michigan should win this conference. But Miami, Ohio, they're plucky. They're good. They've got a. I'm just going over their schedule real quick. Just trying to see if there's any horrible games on there. I mean, they start on the road. Well, we'll wait for that. Go ahead. What's your take on them?
Just my whole thing. I know they play good defense, and I know they got a good offensive line. They're going to run the ball. This is one of those teams, though. The quarterback is my thing. If I'm matching them up with Western Michigan, I go towards Western Michigan because of the quarterback. They don't have one yet. They're really not sure. I don't think who's going to be it. That's not good. I mean, it could be good, but it's a big if. But they play good defense. They got offensive line. Those are two of the most solid parts of the team, which is great. We always say that. That's where you got to start at. But that quarterback has to be decent. Hopefully, if he's decent, they're going to be in. They'll be in the mix because of that strength of defense and offensive line. But
yeah, and I mean, you can only in this day and age, you can only run the ball so much. Eventually, you need to be able to push the ball down the field quickly. Yeah. And they don't have the best quarterback play. Case in point, because they don't really know who it's going to be. It's still somewhat of a battle. So I agree with you. They're although they're contenders, I mean, we'll see. Their out of conference games aren't horrible. They start the season at Pitt. Pitt's a team that's up and down, and Pitt loves Narduzzi loves to lose to MAC teams. He just loves it. It's like his pet. It is. He loves to lose to MAC teams. So they go into Pitt. Pitt's got a more stable program as far as defense and quarterback. I'm not crazy about their quarterback, Heinz, but whatever. So, I mean, that's probably a loss, but I think that's close.
Careful, yeah.
And if I'm Pitt, I'm very careful. Mm-hmm. The saving grace for Pitt is the quarterback position, at Miami, Ohio. Being that it's not solidified yet. I think that's a huge plus for Pitt.
Yeah, change Western Michigan. But if Western Michigan opened at Pitt, that might be a
I might take Western Michigan outright.
Yeah. So that's the only problem with Miami, Ohio. It'll be watch out for that.
I would take Western Michigan outright.
Probably a loss, though, I'm sure, for Miami, Ohio.
Probably, but they followed up. They come home and they have Holy Cross, not known as the best in the world. So I think Holy Cross is a win. Then again, this is another team that goes and tests themselves. They go to Cincinnati. Cincinnati's got a good program.
Yeah,
that's a probably I say they're probably 1-2.
Right.
And then they come home. Yeah, then they come home and they have UConn. UConn lost their coach to Colorado State, and he took 60 players. I would say that's going away a win. Has to be.
And what the Toledo coach went to UConn, right? Yeah.
Yes,
the guy okay, so that's interesting. Yeah. But it's got to be a win. Has to be a win.
Right. I mean, they don't have a choice. Then you go Bowling Green. Will probably a win. At UMass, definitely a win because they're just in a massive rebuild mode. And then you go Akron, probably a win. Central Michigan, depends on where they fall. I don't know. And then Buffalo, home to Buffalo, home to Ohio, at Kent State, at Western Michigan. I'm looking at probably 4 to 5 losses.
Yeah.
Which for them would be great. Well, I guess, because it depends on they have 2 tough out of conference schedules. The first 4 games that are out of conference. So they got to come out of that at bare minimum 2-2. But if they can come out 3-1 again, just like Western Michigan, they pick off a Pitt or a Cincinnati, off they go. Off they go into the wild MAC, and they could really easily win that.
Yeah, what are they going to probably lose 2 in the MAC? 3 maybe conference?
Yeah, probably 2 to 3.
I'm trying to think of because Toledo.
They're 6-3 last year. I can see them going. Okay. Yeah. I can see them going 7-2, 6-3. Probably the same.
Same. Yeah.
Which it'll position them well. And we haven't had anybody play Sacramento State yet. That's interesting.
Yeah, right? No. Right.
So they were in the conference. We're sure during the conference. They are. But we have not had anybody play them just yet. But anyway, all right. So after Miami of Ohio, and I think that's fair. I mean, they have them they have them between 7 and 9 wins, and I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Right. Because if you get 6 wins in the MAC, and we know they're going to get 2 wins out of conference, that's 8 right there. So I think that's a very safe bet.
I agree. Yeah.
I do. And Toledo is up next. Toledo, they're coming in with a new coach.
Right.
A brand new coach. They finished 8-5 last year, 6-2 in the MAC, which is impressive. They're impressive. Toledo always, they always have something. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, you got the new coach, right? He comes and he brought someone with him. I think Mercer, and he brought. I'm trying to think. He brought a running back with him. He's got their starting quarterback from last year, Rick.
Always
so that's
good.
Yep. Richter.
Yes.
And I don't think that. I think where their problem is going to be is defense. I feel like from what I've read, they don't have anyone returning.
Right.
So that's always kind of you never know. I mean, again, it could be better, but chances are you have no one returning. You're going to have some struggles.
Especially with the brand new regime. Like, I mean, you have to see what Jacobs did at his last stint or his last stay, so you have to see, what kind of style he runs is appropriate for the MAC. I'm not sure. Where did he come from, Mike Jacobs?
Mercer.
Ooh.
He brought 14 players with him from Mercer. I don't know what that's going to do for football. Yeah.
They're not D1. They're in PA.
Right. Yeah. I don't know much of.
I mean, I know they'd play in the conference here.
Yeah, 36. Yeah. He brought in 14 players from Mercer. Yeah, so a couple guys from guy from Penn State. He got a linebacker out of there. He got a DB out of Michigan State. He brought a running back from Penn State. I mean, I don't know who the hell these guys are, but he got a few guys. It's gonna be a tough. It's gonna be a tough year. I have a feeling for Toledo.
They won 9 games last year. Mercer did under him. And he played. I mean, he played. Let's see. He played Auburn. They played. Who's the other big one? They played Auburn. They played Wolford, which is good sometimes. They played Tennessee Chattanooga, and they lost to South Dakota. Got shut out. So it'll be definitely be interesting. That's Toledo again, man. Brand new program, guys, stepping up in division. Successful there. He was successful at Mercer. I'm not sure if he's a Pennsylvania guy or not, but they with that many players, again, this is a weird one. I'm not sure that I would pick them third, but again, the MAC always puts 5 or 6 with 6 wins. So, I mean, they start off the season, Michigan State.
Loss, right? You would think, yeah.
Right. It's in East Lansing, even though they're messed up there.
Right.
I can't believe they're going to come away with a victory there.
Right.
I'd be shocked. That's a Friday night game, 8 o'clock, September 4th, under the lights, East Lansing. I'm going to say, yeah. Then they have Central Connecticut State at home. That's a win. It's out of conference. Temple, I think a win. They're out of conference.
A win, yeah.
And then a tough one. San Diego State is tough.
Yeah.
They have them at home, but that's a tough game. As we went over the Pac-12, they play defense, and they're good at it, right? Toledo, brand new, kind of a brand new program. Again, this is so bizarre. Again, in a row, the first 4 games kind of define the season. The same because they, for whatever reason, they're stacking these games before the meat of the conference. And again, they should come out 2-2. Again, if they come out 3-1 and they're able to knock off San Diego State, off they go. Because then they go division. They go Ball State, Buffalo. Ball State probably a win. Buffalo probably a win. Maybe Western Michigan probably a loss. UMass a definite win. Bowling Green probably a win, and Ohio. Weirdly enough, they're not playing Sacramento.
Where the hell are they? What are they doing?
I don't. We have to read. We have to do more diligence on that because did they fully join, or are they just joining for everything but football?
I believe they're definitely a part of it. I saw someone today trying to say they could win the conference on something I was watching.
Go that far?
Yeah, right. I can't
go that far. I mean,
I can't go that far. Yeah, no.
Again, just because of the history of the MAC, they're going to probably win 6 games, right? Because that's what the MAC does. Do they get more than that? I mean, the schedule lends to it, I guess. I could see them 5-4, 6-3, get those 2 out of conference. I can see them. I'm going to give them 7 wins, I think.
Yeah, just beat Buffalo and Bowling Green. Like, don't drop one of those, right. And then you'll be good. I mean, Ohio's okay too, but I mean, those 2 are the ones that I look at. Like, you beat them, because I think if you lose 6 wins, they're going to get 6 wins. I can't imagine they don't get 6 at least.
I'm 100%. I totally agree. I think they're going to get 6.
Yeah, I don't see 5 and 7. I feel like 6, and then a bowl game for them.
Yeah, I mean, I could see
Yeah.
6-6 or 7-5. I could.
Yeah.
I mean, they have enough talent to do that. And the MAC, we know that the MAC just is able
Mhm.
to. They're able to churn those teams out. I mean, for whatever reason they do it. It's
Mhm.
again a bizarre way they're doing their schedules. I'm having a feeling probably everybody's doing it that way because
Right.
we've gone 3 for 3. Let's see if we can go 4 for 4. You got up next. You have the Chippewas of
Yep.
Central Michigan. Start us off on them. I mean, I like Central
Well,
Michigan. They produce some Hall of Famers. So
yeah. Again, this is a team similar to Miami, Ohio, in my opinion. It's good defense, good line, offensive line, good running game.
yeah,
Now we talk quarterback. Someone's got to step up here at quarterback from, talking about a rotation at quarterback. That's never good. I have never seen that really win anywhere. So, but they have the running game, they have the defense, they got the offensive line.
just
Yes,
missing.
that tells me 6 wins for sure. It's just a
Right.
matter of, is there a bigger win for them somewhere? Can they upset? I don't know if they play Western Michigan. I'm not sure, or one of those teams, Miami, Ohio. But
They do play Sacramento State.
good for we'll see. Well, they better win.
Right. So I agree with you. Always a good defense. It's
Yeah.
with these MAC teams, you got to find a quarterback. You want that quarterback that's the up and coming riser. The one that's the 3-star that you can get a lot out of. And I don't like the stars. I think they're overrated.
Right.
But you get a 3-star type. I mean, you can win in the MAC. There's no doubt about it. So week 1, they I guess the whole MAC is this way because the first 4 games are not conference. It's
Right.
New Mexico. I think that's a win.
Yeah.
Colgate. I think that's a win.
Win.
Wyoming, probably a win.
Yeah, probably.
So I think they can go. Then they go to Miami, right? So I think they can go into Miami, right? 3-0 team, right?
Yeah, huge win game. I mean, it beat Miami.
Right.
I don't know if they will, but they're very similar teams.
Yes.
Them and Miami.
That's why the MAC is the way it is. But again, this team should absolutely be 3-1, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, there's no excuse not to be 3-1. And then they go and they hit their schedule. First 2 conference, Akron and Ohio, they can win.
Yeah.
Then they go Miami of Ohio, Eastern Michigan. I think probably split that, right?
Right. Yeah.
So 1 conference loss. Then you got Sacramento State. That's got to be a win.
It's at home.
It is at home.
Home. Okay. Yeah. Good.
Then you finish on the road at Buffalo. So they're probably going to drop 2 in the conference.
Wow. Yeah.
Probably just because you can't expect them to run the table, because everybody can't run the table. But I think they're going to be an improved team.
Yeah, I think they're better than Toledo.
Yeah,
I probably like Central Michigan 3 in this one.
Looking at it, you're right because their schedule. I mean, they only have 1. The other big boys are taking 2 power teams.
Mm-hmm.
They only scheduled 1.
And they sound so much like Miami to me of Ohio. They feel like the same team. Probably Miami's better, but they have the exact same issues. That if you look at it, they're below Western Michigan, but I just feel like they're better than Toledo. But I would put them neck and neck with Miami of Ohio.
Toledo got them last year, 21-3. So
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think they're just the way their schedule rolls. I would probably put them up a little higher.
Yeah.
Right. I just would.
Me too. Definitely.
Because I think their schedule lends to a better layout. Because after Miami, you got Akron. That's not horrible.
Right.
And depending on what the Miami score is, who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a conference that in everything you read press wise, they call it a reliable conference.
Right.
And it is. I mean, you see it every year. They put so many teams into the freaking bowl games. It's just a crazy thing they have going on. But you're right. They're very similar. I'm with you. After looking at these schedules, I would probably rate them higher as well.
Yeah, I am putting them right with Miami of Ohio. I think is where I'd have them.
And their biggest thing is obviously quarterback stability.
Mm-hmm.
If they get if any one of these teams, any one of these 3, other than these ones whenever, other than Western Michigan, the Miami of Ohio, Toledo, Central Michigan, any of them get quarterback play above and beyond, it's going to be strange and wild.
Well, Well, they could. Yeah, they definitely could take a run at Western Michigan if they get any, because their defense is good. Their defenses are really good, and they can run the ball. So it's all they're missing to get after Western Michigan.
Yeah. And in the paraphernalia and the things we read, they are a dark horse pick to win it.
Yeah.
I don't know how strong they'll be because they're weak off out of conference schedule, but it doesn't matter. Wins are wins, right?
Wins are wins. Yeah, definitely.
And up next we have the Ohio Bobcats.
Yeah.
What do you know about Ohio?
Well, what I know and we got another quarterback battle, it seems like.
Right.
They don't know who it's going to be, so we're going to go through they got a graduate student. It's not me. You don't know who the hell the quarterback's going to be, but you do again have decent defense. Offensive line is redone. I don't know, man. They're definitely, to me, they're a step below than the teams we just talked about.
Yeah,
they're below even Toledo. I'm putting Ohio, but I know they were 9-4 last year too. From what I'm reading, and again, I do check. You probably do too. You check out a little bit of MAC throughout the year. You'll see some MAC games.
Always.
And I'm here in Buffalo, so I see a little more sometimes. Yep. God, Ohio, I don't know, man. I have a feeling they're not winning 9 games this year. Let's put it that way. I don't think they'll win 9.
I don't know. I'm gonna read you the schedule.
Oh, okay.
So, same Ohio again, just another reliable MAC team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these teams they're just like they're like old, like that old car that keeps running. So week 1 they jump into it 2 feet. They go to Nebraska. Well, probably a loss, but Nebraska lost their quarterback.
Right,
he's the backup in Oregon now. So maybe they have a little instability in quarterback position in Nebraska.
Right.
Maybe Matt does something. Rule does something bizarre there. So, but probably a loss, right?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, Jacksonville State, that's a win. They don't have Shador. South Alabama, probably a win. And then Stonehill. Again, this team.
Oh, there you go.
This team's got to be 3-1, right?
3-1, yes, definitely.
So then you get Kent State.
I mean, well, well, that'll be tough. I think that's right. That would be a good one. That's a
good early season battle.
Yeah.
But I think I'm leaning toward Ohio in that.
Me too, because I don't think Kent State can. Yeah, they have defensive issues. Yeah.
And then you get Central Michigan. I would take Central Michigan.
That's a good one. Yeah.
That's going to be their first loss, I think, in the conference. Yep. Sacramento State got to be a win, right?
Has to be, yeah. They better. Yeah, they got.
Eastern Michigan, I think they win.
Yep.
Akron, be a tough battle, but I'll still take Central Michigan. And then Ball State, I'm taking Central Michigan. And then you finish off with Toledo, which would be a good game. So I don't know, man. They're going to get 7 wins.
Yeah, maybe Ohio. Yeah, the Bobcats might get 7.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see that many losses. I see Nebraska as a loss. Central Michigan probably has a loss. That's 2. And then maybe somebody picks them off.
Well, because they don't play Miami or Western, right? Western Michigan or Miami? Oh,
correct.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm saying that the schedule lends very kindly to them. They get Sacramento State.
They're good then. Yeah, no, you're right. I agree. That could be 8.
Right.
7 or 8 wins easily.
And how strong will they be with playing the likes of the mighty Stonehill of the world and Jacksonville State and South Alabama? I don't know. But in the MAC, I don't think they lose. I think they lose to Central Michigan. And I think they lose Toledo's probably the only one they're going to have trouble with.
Yeah.
Not going to have trouble with Eastern. Not going to have trouble with Kent State. It'll be a good game, but I still pick them. Sacramento State's a win. Eastern, Akron probably a win. Ball State probably a win. Yeah, I only see them losing 1 or 2.
Yeah.
This is a 3-loss team, so you're looking at not right. You're looking at a 9-win team, right?
And they're not. Well, maybe I'm wrong, but to me, it feels like they're not better than Toledo. Yeah.
No, I don't. I agree with you.
They should be at 5th, but they might end up in 2nd. I don't know.
Yeah, because of the way the schedule plays out. Because again, this conference is not cannibalizing itself like the SEC.
Right.
So they have 4 games that are out of conference. Which is fascinating because I'm with you. I mean, I it's good to test yourself out of conference, and they did with Nebraska, but the teams above them have 2 of those kind of games.
Right.
Which I think is good on all them folks for doing it. could ruin your season. But I mean, conference is really the only thing that matters.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I mean, I think that's probably so the biggest. I think the biggest threat to Western Michigan is probably Central Michigan, and we know. I mean, just looking at Ohio is going to be up there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. After this, I mean, you think about it, they're going to be 9 wins. They're going to have 9 wins. I don't think they'll be. I still think Miami, Ohio, and Central Michigan would be the 2 teams that legitimately can get at Western Michigan. I don't think Toledo can, and I think Ohio's going to be a fraud.
But I think Central Michigan can get to that championship game. Remember, it's just a conference. I think Ohio can get in that game.
They could. Sure, they.
I'm not saying they're going to be competitive, but I think they can get in that game.
Yeah, because we're looking at 2 losses, maybe right in the conference. Yeah. You were saying,
yeah, that's what I think. I mean, they're going to have trouble with Toledo, and they're most likely going to lose to Central. But that's that's it though. I think they can get in there.
Yeah,
I really do. I mean, I think but probably Miami of Ohio is the biggest threat, but I think these other teams are going to sneak up on people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they are.
They do. Yeah, they always do. Because somehow these teams end up with, like you said, 5 and 6 wins every year. So
I mean, they're not stupid. They're making money for their conference, mm-hmm. right?
Yeah,
they're getting that bowl money, which is all that all that they want, really.
Right.
So I expect. I don't know. I expect that. I think it's going to be closer than we think.
Right.
I think Western Michigan still, after the teams have gone through, still is the class of the MAC. But I think those next couple spots, second, 2, 3, 4, 5, they're going to be close.
Awfully close in Ohio. By reading that off, they should be number 2.
Right.
I can't believe.
Yeah.
They're not. I don't think they're good enough. I don't think they're better than the other teams.
I don't either. But I think they're going to get there.
Yeah.
Which will be even easier for Western Michigan, because I think Western Michigan is way better than Ohio.
Yeah.
But that's what they say. That's why they play the games.
Right.
So so far, that's probably the top 5 that are the best in the division. No doubt. And then, I just pull these things off the web, and then they call this the second tier, but bowl contenders, right?
Right.
So we'll go with the team where you live. Disappointing 2025. We all know that.
Yeah.
But they do the same thing, man. That schedule offers us early wins, which they're going to pack up for freaking bowl games. But what do you know about them? What's the talk around town?
The talk for them is the turnovers. They had so many last year. They lost like 5 games by 1 score, and it was due to turnovers. So they gave up the ball at an incredible pace. They turned the ball over a lot. If they feel if they can hold on to the ball, they're winning. Were they 5 and 7 last year? They should have 8. They should have 8 wins. Because of all the turnovers. So that's
who's their quarterback?
Yeah, it's they don't have anybody.
Okay.
Let's see, Jason Wright, redshirt sophomore.
Okay.
So yeah, they got a kid who's been there, and he's their starter.
There's a system. That's cool.
Yep.
That's good. Yeah, Buffalo, obviously, I'm not that in depth. I knew they lost games, but that turnover battle, you got to win that. Or cut it in half. You cut it in half, you're more competitive, which it sounds like they want to address that. So,
they lost 4 games by 1 score due to turnovers.
Oh, wow.
They're saying so.
Oh, wow.
What happened? That's what happened, actually.
Yeah, but that's huge. Because you can't really, those are not, commodities you can count on.
Right.
Either way. So that's pretty darn good for them. But as we dive into their schedule, they start against Albany. Is Albany any good?
No.
Okay.
No, they got to beat Albany.
So then they go FIU.
They should beat them.
Long trip, but they should beat them. Then they got their big boy, and their big boy's Penn State.
And they'll get clobbered.
Right. And then they have Robert Morris, which I think they win easily.
They win. So they're 3-1.
Yeah, that's here in Pittsburgh. They start their conference, and they start it in a big way. Western Michigan.
Ooh.
That's probably a loss.
Yeah.
Probably a loss. Toledo, tough game.
Tough game. They need to win that one. Like, you know what I mean? That's like.
Yeah, it's a game they have to win.
Yeah, they kind of want to. You got to win that one. If you're what you're saying to me about the turnovers, and you're better than that 5 and 7 record, you beat Toledo.
Right.
I think.
Right.
But they'll probably lose. Let's call that a loss, probably, right?
Okay, so it's 3-3, 0-2 in the conference. UMass is going to be a win. They were 0-12 last year.
Yep.
That's a win. That's 1-2 in conference. Bowling Green, probably a win. I would bet on Buffalo. So that's 2-2, and then you have Miami of Ohio.
Ooh, yeah, tough. I don't know.
Tough.
You gotta beat them if you're better, right? If you're better,
if you want to step up that ladder, you got to beat them. Probably not going to be favored in that game. That's probably a 50-50. Let's go ahead and say
that's a loss.
3-2, 2-3. Yeah, let's go 2-3. So then you have Ball State on the road. I think they can win that.
Got to win that one, yeah.
So that's 3-3, and then you have Central Michigan, which is going to be tough.
Tough.
So I think they're 4-4 in conference, 7-5 overall.
And that's a good year for them because they were 5-7 last year. They feel good and they get a bowl game. So
I mean, and they have a favorable schedule. So, again, the MAC is so freaking predictable and dependable when it comes to bowl games. It's not going to be the Elite Bowl. It's going to be the CarMax, whatever the heck it is. Whatever celebrity wants to lend their name to a bowl this year. But yeah, I mean, they're 7-5. They're probably not able to step up this year as far as contending for the conference.
Right.
But as you said, if you flip the script and you 5-7, you go 7-5, that's awesome. That brings in more bowl money, for the conference, and I'm sure they're going to appreciate, having all that money. So that would be, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There'd be 6 teams with bowls, right?
Yeah.
I can see that happening, can't you?
Yeah, and for Buffalo, I think it's huge. Every time they get into a bowl, you get to be seen. Generally, the game of the night or the day, whatever, and early. Everyone's watching that likes football, so it's good. They need it.
Well, it's also great for recruiting. Mm-hmm. Like you're saying, you're the only show in town.
You need them. Buffalo needs it. Teams like all these teams. I should say all of them. All the MAC teams. You want more. You need more games. You need more spotlight, and that's the only way to get it. Is get into the bowls.
Play it by yourself one day. Next up, we have an interesting team, Kent State, who love to get money. They love to get paid.
Yeah,
really is what they love to do. So I'm not sure. Possibly their quarterback position doesn't look as solid.
Right. Well, I mean, think about it. They were 0-12, I think, the year before. Then they went to 5-7, so that's nice. You
have a shot maybe of changing that depending on the schedule.
Right.
So yeah, that's a hell of a progression. Even if you go 500, 6-6, you go 0, 5, 6. That's great.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
I mean, I'm not sure how anybody could be upset with them if they do that. So
right.
I keep saying Ball State for Eddie George. He's at Eastern Michigan.
Eddie George?
Yeah.
No, Bowling Green.
Bowling Green. Why do they have him here as Eastern Michigan?
Yeah, he's at Bowling Green.
That's what I thought. Yeah, so I mean, opportunities for them. Let's go to the video and the schedule. So, week 1, they jump into it, right? They go take on the SEC, and they're at South Carolina.
And get beat up. Yeah.
They stay in the state of South Carolina, and they go to Wofford. That's probably a win. Then they decide to go take on Ohio State.
That's a
loss. Yeah, that's a loss. That's a loss. And then they have Ball State. What do you think about that game?
Ball State. Oh, you got to win that one. That's one that Kent State should win, right? I mean, you know what I mean? That's one you want if you want to be better than 5-7. Beat Ball State. They're in your. They are definitely in your. They should be better than Ball State. Even just looking at like the second tier and all that stuff, they should be better than Ball State. So yeah, they got to win that one.
Yeah, I mean, again, you're right. That's got to be a victory if you want to do anything with your team. Ohio, I would say that's probably a loss.
That's probably a loss, but that's another one if they want to step up. You could beat Ohio. You know what I mean? Like Ohio is a real nice, but I don't know. But
so that'd be a really nice win. You're right. That's 1-1 conference, and that's what overall. That's not good. Overall, it's 1-4 start, right?
Right.
And then week 7, you go to South Florida, which is not an easy team to play.
Jeez.
I know. So they might not be.
What a weird
place. They're going to win one of those. They're going to either beat Ohio or beat South Florida. South Florida doesn't matter conference-wise.
Right.
But I could see them at 2-4.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. With wins over Ball State and South Florida or Ohio.
Okay. Ohio would be the better win, obviously, because it's in conference. But it just even as far as just the whole thing, just them being better than them. I think Ohio's better, but yeah.
Right. I mean, but they don't do themselves much favor. Well, they have Sacramento State. That's got to be a win, right?
Yeah.
Got to be a win. Sacramento State. That's 3-4, right?
Okay.
And 2-1 in conference. And then Bowling Green, I think that's a win.
Right.
Now you're 500. And I don't know about Miami of Ohio. I don't know about that.
Probably going to get beat. I'd imagine Miami, Ohio beat. You know what I'm saying? I would think.
Yeah. And then you finish up with Eastern, which will probably be a victory. So you're probably 6-6.
And they're
right.
Again, everyone. Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, you think about it. You're beating Wofford. Let's see, Wofford, Ball State 2, Ohio probably 3, 4, 5, 6.
That's the key is going to be that Ohio, South Florida. You got to win one.
Got to pick one of those off, or else you're 5-7.
Or else you're 5-7 again.
Yep.
So that's right there. Week 6 and 7, whatever that is, 7 and 8.
Yeah. Yeah, 6-6 or 5-7. I mean, they're right on the. Because I don't think they do anything against South Carolina. I mean, that's Lenore Seller's first game. He's one of the people that people think that he can play quarterback, and that's going to be a tough one to do anything against South Carolina. It's going to be hot. Coming from Ohio to the swamp, basically, in South Carolina, it's going to be a tough game, human game. So man, it's probably 5-7, 6-6.
Yeah.
Again, you do 5-7 again, that's a great year.
Right. 6-6 great is just. You're going to a bowl game, and now what a difference! What a turnaround for the head coach.
Right, and again, you're playing prime time.
Yep.
Only game in town. You're making your conference money. I think that it's possible, but it's going to come down to those 1 or 2 games. And here's the other thing: are there enough 1 or 2 games for everybody to make a bowl, right?
Right.
Because somebody has to lose these games.
I know we got to figure it. Well, here they come.
Right. I mean,
yeah,
it's like okay, and then but they do have them as a fringe bowl team, so
because like we do, because you figure if they win one of those 2 games we were just talking about, they're 6-6, but 5-7 probably, because they could lose losing to Ohio and losing to South Florida wouldn't shock me.
Correct.
At all, losing both of them. I think it'd almost be an upset for them to even beat one of them.
No, definitely. But I think you're right. The one to focus on is the one in conference.
Yeah.
To get all that stuff. But I mean, again, these are teams. I mean, this is why they can put 6 in.
Mm-hmm.
Why they can put 6 in teams into bowls, which would be amazing. All right, up next we have the Eastern Michigan football program. What in the world can Eastern Michigan do?
Mm-hmm. Well, they got a 7-year quarterback, right? The 7th year, I believe. Noah Timms.
Yeah, he's drawing Social Security already.
Yeah. So I mean, they say stability. So yeah, I'm sure it is. It's the 7th year. It seems like this to me about this team. Their defense is bad.
Yes.
From what I read, they gave up over 230 yards a game.
Yes.
So offensively, though, they got a running back from Virginia Tech. I guess they brought over. They did some other stuff. And just offensively, they seem okay, but defensively is the issue. So.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough run. I mean, it just is. So you look at their schedule, right?
Right.
You start off with a win. You're going to Sacramento State, right? Or is it?
Hope so.
Yeah. Ypsilanti, so it's at home. So you go to Sacramento State, but then you go to San Jose State, right? Tough. They're tough. We went through them already.
Tough, yeah.
They're a tough team.
That may be a loss to them.
That might be a loss, but I think you start off 1-1 and you're 1-0 in the conference. Then you've got back-to-back games where you didn't do yourself any favors. You go to Michigan State, right? Which is probably a loss, right?
Loss, yeah.
And then Wisconsin.
Another loss. They'll lose, yeah.
I mean, Wisconsin, if he doesn't win, he'll be out by week 4.
Have to be, yeah. Right.
But then, so you figure they're what? 1-3, possibly 2-2. But more likely than not, 1-3 and 1-0 in conference. Then you play Lindenwood. You got to win that one.
Right.
So you're 2-3, and you have UMass. So you're 500 and you're 2-0 in the conference.
That's good. All right, so you're happy.
Yeah, you're
And
3-3.
you made some money by playing Michigan State or whatever, Wisconsin.
And Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And you're 2-0 in the conference. And then you got a favorable. You have Akron and then Ohio. So Akron might be able. They might be able to get a win there.
Yeah.
Right. That'll be 4-3. I don't think they beat Ohio.
Probably they shouldn't. Yeah.
So that's 4-4 and 3-1 in the conference. You got Central. I don't think they win that game.
No.
I don't think they do it. I don't think they win that game.
Mm-mm.
And then you have Western Michigan. I don't think they win that game.
No. So there's another one.
And then it comes up to Kent State, Eastern Michigan, and I think Kent State will be favored. And it doesn't matter anyway. So that only gets you to 5 wins, right?
Yeah.
I don't see them picking off. I mean, maybe they get an Akron or an Ohio, but they're not taking Central or Western. There's no way.
Yeah,
they are primed and strong enough to dominate them.
So they have to. They're going to have to be to get to the 6th win. They got to beat Akron,
yes,
right, or Ohio.
Yep. And Kent State. They need 2 of those.
Maybe Kent State. Oh, yeah. So that's going to be tough. Well, okay. They're going to earn the 6th win because beating Kent State is going to be. They're better. I think Kent State's a better team. In Ohio, we know by the looks of it is better.
Right.
In Eastern. So.
Yeah. So it's going to be. This is the first team that I don't think it's going to. And they were accurate in calling them a fringe bowl team. They were. Yeah. Because they got to step up and win some games. But you if you beat Sacramento State, you come back and beat San Jose State. Who knows?
Yeah.
Because you're not beating Michigan State. Excuse me.
San Jose State would be a nice win, right? That would be a really impressive win for them.
And maybe they get them because they're coming from halfway across the country. They're coming from the coast to Middle America. Maybe they pick them off. Maybe they do. We don't know. But that's definitely. I mean, that was the most accurate description of the team so far. And that is a bowl fringe team because it's gonna come down to. They got to win some of these games. And that's football, man. If you want to win, great. You got to start beating some of these teams. All right, we got up next. We have the Zips, man, the mighty Zips. So it says that it's a make or break season for the coach, Jimmy Moorhead. So, what's your take on Akron?
From what I understand, this quarterback, Poffenbarger, he's from North Texas. I read some things today getting ready for the show that said he could be the offensive player of the year. Like that type, the quarterback, this guy could be the number 1 quarterback in the MAC, taking over for the guy from Western Michigan. I mean, that's what they're talking. Like very excited about this starter. I mean, he's been at Old Dominion. He's been North Texas is where he's last. He's a graduate transfer, brought in to lead the offense. So maybe that gives them some hope, but
he's playing in similar conferences too, so it's not like a huge step up.
The Zips, they do like to throw the ball though too, right? I mean, they always go. They do, So this could be a fun team. I'm not quite sure about the defense, of course, but
right. And I mean, transfer quarterback's going to take a little bit of time,
right?
So let's see how they're doing in their schedule. So they go Wake Forest first. I don't know how strong Wake is. It's in Winston-Salem. Probably a loss, right?
You would think, yeah.
Robert Morris, probably a win.
Win.
Minnesota, definitely a loss. I mean, he knows the freaking MAC at the back of his hand. And then you have another tough game. You have Central.
Yeah, that's tough. They got to win Central, but I can't see it.
No, I don't see that. That's 1-3, 0-1 in the conference.
Yeah.
So then you have Eastern, and this is the game we're talking about for Eastern. So
same for Akron, right? They need this one.
Need this one because they got Miami of Ohio the week after.
And I don't see Miami of Ohio dropping to Akron. You know what I mean? You just don't.
I don't. Yeah.
I don't see that.
And I don't see them. I mean, Ohio's up next. A tough game.
They got it. That's a team though. Again, because we talked about Ohio. They had a weaker schedule, right? So that jumped them to almost to number 2. Right. Akron's got to. This is these teams that are like at that 5 and 7. This might be the one. Like Ohio, I feel like is the swing game for all these teams to try to step up a little bit. But
right, so they only have 2 wins so far that we're projecting.
Yeah.
So if they don't beat Ohio, they're not beating Western Michigan.
No.
Then they go UMass. That's their 3rd win.
Okay.
And then you finish up against Buffalo, which I think Buffalo is going to be better.
So
I think it's a 3 to 5 win team. That's it.
Yeah, so I was gonna say maybe 4 if they're lucky. Last year they were 5-7, so I don't see them You don't see them getting to 6. This is not a bowl.
I see them regressing, which probably is going to cost their coach his job. But I mean, I just don't see them. I can't imagine any scenario where they do, unless this kid comes in and freaking lights it up, and has a magical season, something like that. But I just don't see. I don't see it happening.
Yeah, the Zips are done.
Yeah.
No bowl game for the poor Zips.
No, I would think that the Zips are staying home.
Yeah.
But up next we have Ball State.
What do we know about them?
What do you know about Ball State, sir?
I do know they don't have a quarterback. We got the ongoing quarterback competition
controversy.
Yeah. 4-8 last year. I don't see much of a difference why it wouldn't stay that way. Doesn't look like there's much change. You know what I'm saying? They didn't do much.
Yeah.
I mean, they did get some transfer portal, some guys, but
they have a quarterback battle between Tyler Mazzell and Keldrick Luster. Both are redshirt juniors. After the spring game, it looks like Mazzell is the leader in the clubhouse.
Right.
So they're both returning, right? So that's their positive, but they do play good defense. We know that.
Yeah.
Don't know what we're going to get out of them. Let's check out their schedule.
Oh, geez. They play in beautiful Muncie, Indiana. I didn't know it was there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful Muncie.
So they go right off the bat. They go to the Horseshoe. That's a loss.
Yeah.
Stony Brook will win, right?
Right.
Liberty. You never know what Liberty is.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably not going to be favored in that game because Liberty, they're a good team.
They could lose. Yeah.
They have to win that, but I don't know that they can. Liberty is a good team. They play, That's going to be tough. And then they go Kent State, which I don't think they'll beat Kent State.
No, I don't think they can beat. No, right? They shouldn't. Kent State needs to not. They lose to Ball State, then
right.
There's problems.
So far they have one win against Stony Brook. Maybe something with Liberty. They have a very tough schedule because then they go after Kent State. They go Toledo, Northwestern. I don't think Northwestern loses to them. Do you?
No, I don't either. No.
And I don't think they'll be able to beat Toledo.
They can't. Right? Toledo's got ideas of doing something. No.
Grandeur, yeah. Toledo wants to challenge.
Right.
And then they go Bowling Green, which might be a win.
Yeah, could be.
They go back-to-back Bowling Green, Sacramento State. That's probably 3 wins, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, your wins are Stony Brook, Bowling Green, and Sacramento State. You got to have those to have anything in your season.
And I think those two teams, about Sacramento State, obviously unknown, but Bowling Green and Ball State, like that's probably a toss-up.
Correct.
Is my guess.
So that's 2. We'll give them 2. We'll err on the side. We'll go 2. And then you got UMass, which is probably a win. That's 3 wins.
Yeah.
They're not beating Buffalo. They're not beating Ohio.
Right. So there you go. And UMass is going to win a game this year. I don't think they go 0-12 again.
UMass has the quarterback from Virginia Tech.
So that's interesting.
Who he can play. He can play. That's a 2-win team. I don't see anything else.
That's
I really don't.
Yeah, I don't either. No.
I can't imagine they're going to get more than 2 wins. I just see it. I mean,
me neither.
Yeah, I mean, instability of quarterback.
Yeah.
Up next they have the 0-12 team. So they do have a quarterback. I like their quarterback. I do. I watched him play live at Tech 2 years ago, and he can play.
Well,
he's not the greatest, but he can play. So that's going to be interesting.
They added a lot of people, right? I'm looking at guys from Wisconsin.
Oh yeah,
a few guys. I mean, they're going to win some. What are they going to do? They got is this that guy Watson? Is that who it is? Pop Watson or something?
Pop Watson. Yeah, he's a slender guy. At least he was at Tech, but he can move. He can throw. He's got huge personality, and he can play.
They got an easy schedule. Maybe they win 3 wins, and you're happy.
We're gonna get there. I think you might be right here, brother. So they open up at Rutgers. That's a loss.
Right.
Sacred Heart, maybe a win.
Got to beat Sacred Heart. I think you got to beat Sacred Heart. Yeah.
And then you have Stonehill. Got to beat Stonehill, right?
Got to beat them. There's 2. Yeah.
And then you have Sacramento State.
Ooh, battle. That'll be good.
So could this team be 3-1?
That'd be something. Maybe. Why not?
Right.
Yeah.
They're either 3-1 or 2-2 because I think they can at least win 2 of those games, which again, huge for them.
Right.
And then they go into the mediator conference, Eastern Michigan. They need that game. I don't know that UMass wins that. They don't beat Miami of Ohio.
No.
They don't beat Buffalo. UConn, he left for Colorado State. Maybe regional battle, right? Maybe that's a third win for them. And then you've got Ball State, Toledo, and Akron, which if they want to be anything,
well,
Ball State will be a toss-up. This is a 2 to 4 win team, probably, right?
Yeah, they could beat Akron, maybe.
But Akron needs. I mean, that's the thing is these
I know
need those games for bowl eligibility.
Yeah. 2 to 3 wins is a great. I mean, geez, any wins is a great year, but the 3 wouldn't be bad.
3 would be huge for them. Huge. And I can't. You cannot lose to the newcomer Sacramento State. It can't happen.
No, that's going to be
I mean, these are things that just can't happen, and they are the final team we have, folks. Sacramento State from the FCS.
I would love to know, and I wish I had. This guy was talking today. I was just watching some stuff. Like they could. How the hell could they win this conference? There's no way.
They
can't even be a dark.
They were competitive with the higher seeds in the FCS. They did play well. I don't know their roster that well.
The quarterback situation's crazy, right? This Carson Conklin. He was at Sacramento State, played really well, transferred to Fresno State, didn't play, and now is back at Sacramento State. So that's crazy, right? He was really good at Sacramento, got him to Fresno, couldn't start at Fresno, comes back. So that's interesting.
That is interesting. I mean, they didn't do horrible last year. I mean, same sort of conference, They played Eastern Washington, the Portland States of the world, the Idahos of the world. I mean, they opened up conference play, Eastern Michigan, which we already said Eastern Michigan's going to win that.
Right.
Mississippi Valley State, I think they can win that. They're 1-1. Then their quarterback gets a chance to get his revenge because they play Fresno State, right?
That's fine.
And then they have 2 tough ones. They have Fresno State, and then they have North Dakota State. So those are probably back-to-back. They're probably two losses, right?
2 losses, yeah.
So they're probably one win, Mississippi Valley State. Then you've got UMass. Somebody has to win that game, right?
Yeah. They need that. Sacramento State that's a game, obviously, they need. They would have to.
It's also a game UMass needs, right? Because you can't lose to the new folk.
Yep. So that's good.
That's going to be a good one. Then you got Bowling Green. Maybe you pick them off, right?
That'd be huge for them, right? That'd be a huge win against Eddie George.
Yep. Then you have Ohio. I don't think you win. Ball State, maybe a toss, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. And then you got Kent State. I don't think you win that one. You have Central Michigan. I don't think you win that one. And then you finish up the season with Hawaii. So what do you think?
Hawaii should beat them. Hawaii's supposed to be good.
They are. So, again, this is probably a 2-win team.
2 to 3 wins, yeah.
Yeah.
Which
they did well last year because they were in the FCS. This is probably a 2 to 3 win team.
Yeah. They got one more. Yeah, I mean, it is tough when you're making the transition, I guess. Because you got to,
I mean, it's not like you're going from FCS to the SEC or anything like that.
Right.
They're going to very similar conference with conference-sized schools and, similar type of programs. But it's just a bear to go from FCS to FBS. It's
and I think they got new coach too, I believe.
Yeah.
New head coach.
They do. Yeah. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we think it's definitely Western Michigan and then everybody else. And I think Western Michigan has probably four programs that can, Akron, Toledo, Ohio, Miami of Ohio.
Right. And Ohio with the schedule might be the worst of the bunch, but might end up second. It's a great point you made because I didn't even realize.
I didn't realize until I started doing the schedule. It's kind of wacky. So that is our time. But what do we, John, next week? What do you want to do? Fun Belt, Sun Belt?
Yeah, let's do that.
We'll do Fun Belt next, and then we're going to start moving into pro football because it's getting close, folks. It is getting danger close to having some real football coming up soon. All right, lights out, buttons, and enjoy your night, folks.